level at the collegiate side. I think right now that's probably the easiest way to just apply it with the association. And, I do that through once the fall season kicks off, a lot of different podcasts, a lot of different highlight shows, and instead of only, congratulating the different institutions, also congratulating the students that were a part of it, and then just bringing it all together into one big story. I know over the summer, what we've recently been doing is we're currently running a campaign that I really wanted to do, which is where we're highlighting people of color, whether it's a staff or a player or whatever, at our different affiliate institutions, just to start that spotlight, and then that'll stay ongoing through different cycles and different campaigns and different stuff like that, just to really put a name and a face behind these different teams that we see. So that's really, really important to me. And the other part is, in order to join the association, there's actually no fees for the institution to access all of the partners and sponsors and information and everything there, because right now, through my time in collegiate, I've done a lot of research, talked to a lot of coaches, and the average budget for a collegiate program is right around $10,000 US, which is
really
nothing for an entire
year. That's nothing.
Yeah, it's extremely low. Even some of the biggest programs, their annual budgets are $100,000, which everybody would love to have that right now. But when you compare it to the different programs in a university, it's next to nothing. It's essentially pocket change from the institution. But these programs are making it work, and while that might change in 3, 4, 5 years, I don't know. Once it starts to even out and become a level playing field, then it might be different. But until then, I would rather these different institutions be able to give as much money back to those students than they do to, whether it's an association or whatever, paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to start a program. Competition is very different. I know for us, our competitions have low entry fees, but they also have, $10K prize pools or $5K prize pools. We're trying to give that back in scholarships to each and every student that we possibly can through the tournament. But then also, that helps with a bit of accountability, because we're also trying to eliminate forfeits, which is a whole different issue in Scholastic Esports. But we're just, we want a program to be able to provide as much opportunity and just information to the students that they can without trying to, quote-unquote, nickel and dime them for, just wanting to start a program.
And so, two-part question. I wanted to know what institutions were associated with you guys, and secondly, what's the website for the institution to go sign up, since it's free, and all you have to do is be on behalf of the institution to sign up.
So right now, we launched about 4 weeks ago, and we've already hit more than 20 institutions. Wow. Those include University of Missouri, University of Tennessee, University of Kansas, Full Sail University, Aquinas College up in Michigan, several different institutions like that. We even have St. Clair College out from Ontario, because we are North American. So I'm really adamant on trying to expand and help the Canadian space, because I feel like they don't really get much help. So
that's awesome.
There's a lot of high-profile institutions, but if anyone's interested, it's uea.gg/collegiate. The Collegiate Association is under the big umbrella of UEA, the big company, which I also I'm on leadership for. But yeah,
of course,
it's great. I obviously love it, but anything you make, you're gonna love. But yeah, I would encourage anyone who's interested to go on there and find some information, and then anyone is able to reach out to me, contact me if there are any questions or comments. And I love knowing each and every coach at these different institutions. I try to follow up once every couple of weeks with everyone, just to check in, make sure the programs are going well and they don't need any help. So I love getting to know everyone. So like if anyone's ever interested, I don't think I sleep, so I answer emails at least pretty often. So yeah, I would just encourage anyone to reach out for more information, or to just go to that website.
That's awesome. And so I wanted to know what plans do you have? You mentioned COVID earlier. What tournaments are coming up? What's going to be next down the pipeline for you guys?
For fall, we have Rocket League, CSGO, and Overwatch. We have an official license from Overwatch, which is really, really exciting. It's not sponsored by Overwatch or Blizzard or anything, but we went through the whole custom license process and got one of those, which is it makes us one of the only varsity tournaments out there outside of TESPA, which is really, really exciting. Rocket League and CSGO we will also be running in the fall, and we also have UCEA is split up into Tier 1 and Tier 2. So those are all for Tier 1 institutions, which is kind of those varsity or high-level programs that are, they're wanting to be kept accountable. They're wanting some stringent forfeit penalties and stuff like that. Essentially, at the end of the day, they're ready and they're wanting everyone that they play to show up when they are supposed to play, which is kind of an issue in collegiate sports at the moment. But then we have that Tier 2 competition, which is more for the club or JV. It's much less stringent on rules, and it's a little more loose, and it gives the ability for institutions to provide that content that they might need to provide to their dean or their president or whoever they're looking towards at their institution, and actually give them some content of saying, hey, our team's competing, here's how we're doing, we have students that are interested, X, Y, and Z, we want to be able to help them cover that as well. So in Tier 2 in the fall, we're going to have CSGO and Rocket League, and then in the spring, we're working on quite a few different things. One of them is a Super Smash circuit. We're wanting to do those with a few different events across the country and across North America. Obviously, that is COVID pending, but we're trying to stay positive and at least hope that it's under control by then. If it's not, we obviously have contingency plans, but that's something that we're looking at. We're talking to Riot for different Valorant things. I think fall might be a little too soon to move forward with Valorant at the collegiate side anyway. So I think spring would probably be a good time to do that, and we're trying to work pretty closely with Riot there. But yeah, so we have several games up and coming. We're working on Rainbow Six Siege as well for spring to add to that, and we'll probably grow very quickly from there when it comes to game titles and how much we want to offer, because right now we're already getting requests to have various other games. So I'm just really excited that we're headed.
But it sounds like an exciting time, and R6 is one of my favorite ones. Like it's one of the ones I play all the time in constant rotation. And so I have to ask you, Victoria, this is the Esports podcast. What are you playing if you have time to play anything?
Well, when I do have time, I have been playing a bit of Valorant, but I have to say I actually come from Siege. When it comes to FPS games, I played for a bit, I coached it for a bit, I recruited for a bit. I have some really good friends in the scene. But Valorant, I think, is a Siege player's kryptonite because it encourages you to not move and shoot at the same time, and you slow down when you get shot at. Like, it's just a lot of things that are completely opposite of Siege that absolutely drive me insane. But for some reason, I still keep playing it. So there's that. I actually got really into Ark lately. Ark Survival Evolved. It's me and my boyfriend and it's really fun, but me and my boyfriend and our group of friends have been playing that a lot. And then a bit of Siege whenever I can convince them to get on Siege, and they tend to rage quit that game because they're not original fans of it. So,
fans of the game, yeah.
Yeah.
They might be Call of Duty that you're trying to cross over to Siege, and it's a whole different ball game. I find that quite often, too. A lot of people that play Call of Duty a lot don't really like Siege because it's more calculated at some point.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, we got a few minutes left in the show. Anything that we didn't talk about, this is your time to kind of speak on it and plug and, tell people how to reach you, and, floor is yours.
Well, thank you. But no, I mean, I feel like we covered a lot for sure. My email, if anyone ever wants to reach out, is just victoria@uea.gg. I'm pretty accessible there. And then, find me on LinkedIn. It's just Victoria Horsley. But yeah, I encourage people to just reach out. Like I said, I love just making relationships with different people. I never see an institution or a staff member as a customer or a client or anything like that. I want to make sure that I know them as a person, and that's really, really important to me. And then another, big point for the association is I want to make sure that we are as inclusive as possible. That's really been a driving force for me. So we're figuring out a lot of different ways to broaden different opportunities that we can provide for, A to Z. We want anyone that's interested to be able to do something. And since, I trust the product because it's something that I've loved and been passionate about for for several months. But we also have a great staff, and there's not a single one of them I wouldn't trust with any of these association matters. So I would love to see, a bunch of people go through our pipeline and to utilize our different competitions. We even have something we recently launched under UEA, which is the Community Esports League, or CEL, which is Super Smash, Fortnite, and Call of Duty. And they're just open tournaments that we're trying to get, the community bonded and give some light in the dark times. Let's all be honest, it hasn't been a fun past few months. But we're just trying to, because our company UEA, we are based around, live events and getting communities together. And since we haven't been able to do that, we launched the CEL to try to still give people a place to play and, talk to their friends in a competitive setting, and trying to find something, to bring a little life back to the esports community, because everything has been remote and it's been tough. But, like I said, I love everyone I work with, and I trust everyone I work with. And I think after, as we move through COVID, and once that's done, I'm really excited to get back to live events and giving collegiate players, the big stages that they deserve. My goal is to work towards, kind of that Rose Bowl of esports. I would love to do that for the different collegiate tournaments, and I know that, everybody in my company shares the same vision, and they fully support me in that. So, I would love to see that come to fruition in the next couple of years as we can, in all of the different game titles, and just make sure that, no esports player on campus feels like they're treated differently because they don't play football or basketball or whatever the case is. I'm really trying to kind of level that playing field. And I always say that I want, the kid with a Shroud poster or a Licorice poster on their wall saying, I want to play League of Legends, or I want to play CSGO. I want them to be treated as equal as someone who has, Ben Roethlisberger or Tom Brady on their wall. So I think that that's really important. I know I'm a huge Denver Broncos fan, so if I can have somebody who loves Von Miller as much as I do, but they also love esports, and all of that's looked at like an equal playing field. I know that's the ideal world when it comes to sports and esports kind of merging on a collegiate campus.
Yeah. I totally agree. I stand with you on those principles, and have an open door here whenever you want to come back and push any initiative that you have or any great news. Just hit me up and let me know. But it was a pleasure. I wish you the best. And I'm here with full support and anything that you need. So thanks for coming on. Look forward to having you on sometime in the near future.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. And you as well. You can reach out to me in the future as much as you need to. And keep doing things like this. I think it's amazing to, put podcasts and news out there and get some visibility for these different students. So I really appreciate what you do.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
You too.
This was another episode of Go Play Esports with Christopher Turner. Follow him on Twitter @Turner_CP.